wedding went off without a hitch down by Knoxville, Tennessee, so that was a good time. Congratulations to them again. It's gonna get them on here, but then I forgot. But back to work today. We got 4 guys hauling all up the Lincoln land. Garrett spraying beans. We got anywhere from half a tenth of rain to a half inch of rain, so not much, but something. Good and bad news is where it didn't rain much is where it hasn't rained much all year in Indiana, but that is where the irrigations are. David's over there getting them fired up. Garrett's heading over to the sprayer over there, start spraying beans there because that's where it's the driest. I'm going to take a spray trailer here, take it over there for him. And Layton's going to take his pickup, and then Dad's going to pick us both up. All right, trailer delivered. Down here in the bottoms, nowhere close to one of our hookups. So I have this here where you can load it. Almost 700 acre field here, not quite, it's like 670 or something. It's got a 5,000 gallon tank, so should be able to fill up 4 times, as long as 1,200 times 4 is still 4,800. I don't think the new math has changed that. Got the Titanic out, filling it up with water, make sure everything works and everything. Get enough water in there. I'm gonna put it in the Heggie, get it sprayed out, make sure there's no chemicals, because here in about, well, less than 2 weeks, we'll probably be starting fungicide corn. It's progressing nicely, especially with these rains, it's really growing. Emery's over here cleaning out the planter so he can wash it. So known as, I'm not sure, Ivers. Yep. And we're not sure. We got a lot of summer help now. Layton's around here somewhere spraying. He seems to always take the easy jobs. This is the workhorse right there. Yep. Need to take off your shirt and flex or anything?
Probably do that the next one.
Next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe do a few more push-ups?
Probably.
Pull-ups, maybe some sit-ups?
Yeah.
Okay. Who knows? Might have a calendar one of these days.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, never know. There's sprayer, man. Those weeds are dead, they don't even know it yet.
Running the Heggie in to check it out, getting it ready for fungicide time. It's gonna be here before we know it. All washed up, looking good.
Gonna put this front shield on. Protect all this stuff when we're going through the big corn. Also going to put these feelers on so it can help fill the row. People ask about that quite a bit. They do work pretty good as long as you're in flat fields and you engage it when you're in the middle of the row. Then they work good. If you're on hills or if you try and engage it too early, not so good. You also have to make sure you have consistent stock quality. If you got fat stalks, skinny stalks don't work good either. If you got all skinnies or all fats, it's good to go. All right, shield on, nothing much to it. These flip over clips up front. And this little pin here that goes through here with a key on it. Whoops. I got one feeler on, get ready on second. Nothing much to it. We just take these. I just sent bolt these and runs fine. They just got to bolt them back in these holes right here, like I did over there. Yeah, see what these are. Well, we got Sydney and Sporty's over there somewhere. These are my two dogs. They made it over to the shop today. They usually don't come. Well, if they're not allowed, because they don't get along with Morse's dogs. But Bella's not here, and Bandit's not here. So how these works is it's going through here, and it can sense how it's hitting that corn, and if it needs to go left or right. These feelers on this sensor sends a message to keeping these tires straight. Last big thing to put it on, we'll put this back boom right here on the back, so that you're not spraying right in front of you. You get away with it in littler stuff because the boom's way down here. Corn's be this tall, so you'll just be spraying over your cab, and it's as mess as it is with the tassels going on it. So he's the back boom. So we're gonna have to replace the hose though. It was dragging at one point, hitting the tops of the corn, so need one of those on. Taking a break for getting the sprayer ready. Went to see if irrigation here where it rained a little bit the other day was ready to, or needn't kicked on yet. It's still good to go, but see the neighbor down there cutting wheat. He's got an X9 with a stripper head on it, so I thought you guys might enjoy a drone of that, so I'm gonna send her up. Well, that turned out good, I think. I guess we'll find out when I edit this, but it was testing 21, 22. Real good wheat. I'm not gonna tell you what yield though. Wouldn't feel right till somebody else's yields.
Well, today is the first day of summer, June 21st. We always think summer started a long time ago, but officially this is it. And we are dry. That's the thing we start talking about this time of year, of course, is the weather a lot. I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat we are. We're dry, the crops are looking good, they're hanging on, but they're going to need some moisture. We'll just hope and pray we get some here, and if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. We move on. But I want to show you what I was doing today. Emery's been out there working on the planter. He's got a lot of that, the bean planter. He's on it now. Got a lot of it done. He's up mowing the yard. He's got baseball this afternoon practice, so he'll be leaving. We got this new Prairie Ditcher, which I'm excited about. We had one before. It did not have this paddle system that this has got to help feed. I think that's the only thing this ditcher was lacking, was having that paddles to feed in trash, especially in stock ground. So now comes the time when I got to try to get everything hooked up, you know, like everything is nowadays in farming. The mechanical part, you know, we can figure out the mechanical part because we've done it for years. We'll get that. That's no problem. It's all this electronics. So we got to hook our GPS up, and ties into the valves back here on the back, so we can use satellite receiver to get our grade right in flat ground, which where we use one of these, it's usually pretty flat or you wouldn't be using it. Or to clean out terraces, great for that too. So I got an ag leader system that I'll be putting back on it to tuck off the other one. There's a screen, same screen I use for my tile plow and my trenching machine now. I use all the same screen. And I got these for all of them, so I don't have to take back and forth. I think I do. I'm going to check that out at noon, make sure I got it on both towel machines. And a big part was trying to find all this stuff, you know. This I knew right where it was. This box had all this stuff in it. Come off the other plow. This was brought when we was really busy in the field planting, and it got put up, and it took 2 hours to find it, but we located it. So, you know, typical, put something down, don't know where you put it. It's hard enough to find your phone after you set it down like 5 minutes earlier, let alone 2 months earlier. Got her now, getting ready to put stuff in the cab to make everything work. I'll have it here in just a little bit where everything will work except the GPS. Then it's my next step of figuring it all out. But we'll get her. We always have. Sometimes I have to get help though.
Towing irrigation, got the wheels turned and everything. Towing to the other corn spot here, then we might head to the next bean spot after that. This one goes 3 different spots. This is the only one we got that moves. Would have got more footage of it, but I forgot my GoPro. I only got the iPhone, and it's kind of hard to get good video with it, even though the quality's good, because well, I don't have any of those influencer kits or whatever they call it. But moving to irrigation. All right, move, fired up and going. Comes out right there. Hook her back up. Water comes from that direction. Now, to head to the one that's not running that should be.
Good morning, YouTube. I'm running a little behind today, but I got here. We got some problems with this Robinson irrigation. We got 2 6-inch valves here. They're butterfly valves. The PVC and handles are broke, and you can see some of the dogs here are bent, or it's hard to get out of the gear after the handle is broke, obviously. So we got new ones from Bradford Supply up here at Robinson, and they're metal with a stainless steel paddle, cast iron with a neoprene type of center, and they also don't take a gasket. It's supposed to seal here. So we're going to replace those plastic ones with these. A few bolts to take out there, and there's one of the broken handle. This one's still intact. You see that's supposed to pull out there. to disengage the dogs. So when the handles broke off, it's a little hard to pull that out, I guess. Anyway, we gotta get it apart. See what we can come up with. I'm bleeding the water out of it right now. There's a bleed for that. Puts it back in a little creek. Okay, got it apart. You see there's just a gap left, and the old valves are made just about like the new ones. I didn't really expect that. I'm hoping the problem is just in the, as these 6-inch valves, that the PVC's kind of dried up. The seals are kind of stiff. The edges are good, but down in here where it seals, it's a little hard. So hopefully that surely will fix the problem. Just got to get her back together. WD-40. Got to have that for everything. So don't leave home without it, right? So, oh, and I got a pair of stylish pants now. Went down there and ripped them. Somebody'd love to have them. Not me, though. Hey, we're going to spray the end of the bolts a little, just to make it a little easier to go on. Oh, got some on the tailgate. Pour forward, we'll probably never have oil on it again. Well, you know, nothing ever as easy as it should be. These valves are just a little bit thinner, which wouldn't hurt, except, as you can see by looking at this bolt, some of them threads are not too good. Got a threader, but I don't know if it goes that big. Okay, we got the new valves in place. That worked out fine. Now we got to see if we can get this motor up on that auger, which I know it fits, but it's heavy. But I'm going to give it a whirl, see what we can do. If I drop it on my toe, I'll let you know.
Over at David's, loading Fred. We're now loading out the hopper because the side sheet on new Big Ben's full, so we're taking it out of the middle, into the hopper, loading her up. He's gone, so we'll hop in here in the scale shed, get the hopper loading back up. This is the new setup here at David's. Shuts off automatic just like Indiana. Leg on, bin on. Got a drag on this one. First one of these like this we got. Also has that paddle sweep under the floor. Makes to see how that works out. Decided to fire the one up St. Francisville. We have too much water, not enough. Stuck around Indiana yesterday, got one going, and filled a bunch of them up with fuel. Back in Illinois today.
Starting to work on the new property we bought just a little bit here north of the house. As you can see up there's the farm way up on the hill. Right there's my house, Garrett's house. This old barn, gonna at least take the lean-to off. We'll probably end up taking it down, but I'm taking these ratty old trees down out here. The building spot used to be here years ago, but it's all went by the wayside, so getting it cleaned up. Get the trees out, let them dry down a little bit, burn them up. See, it's kind of a mess right here. Just let it grow up around this old concrete and different trees. Old part of a chimney there. There's where I took the first bunch out. Boy, you can see how dry the ground is. Really dry down in there.
getting her ready to go. Filled up my rinse tank that you can use to clean the booms out. Put some in the tank, emptied it out. Now I'm putting some more in the tank and going to spray the booms out. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Don't want to have any chemicals in there we don't want. Hate to go out there to make the corn healthier and make it worse. Also need to switch my nozzles over. Using the reclaim we got now from Precision Planting. I think I'm doing it right. I need to talk to David, but just add a little switch here. Fry my boom instead of going out on the ground. This will save your chemicals. It'll just go right back into your fill tank. I'm doing it right now just to make sure to get it out the ends of everywhere. So doing that. Haven't used it yet. There might be a little crud left on the end. Main good thing for it is you can prime your boom. Usually it'll all go right on the ground, which, you know, ain't great for stuff, and it is a waste of money. That's the main thing. So seems pretty simple. Hit the switch, do the prime. Don't take much time. I went ahead and sprayed out these just as I was priming it. Didn't really need to. Just shut it, move it towards the back, because we are not going to be using these fronts, because when we're spraying corn way high, they'll be up in front of here, and all that will just be caking my windshield. It's hard enough to see when you're fungicide, especially if there's a little dew on. So to avoid that, we put this back brace on. The new one's got a lot healthier one. We put one cross piece there because that thing's a little rinky dink, but new ones are better. So got that done. Now I'm going to switch to the right nozzle. And I know you farmers know all this, but for non-farmers, nothing to it. They're already on here. You got different options. Just click it to where it's on bottom, and that's when it'll come out of it. There we are. Getting her cleaned out, and your way to find some leaks. That's not supposed to do that. Close to the ground so we can reach it. Put this on, I had to adjust where these were. Don't look like I tightened it up. It's a good reason why it's leaking. Well, that looks better. Tightening stuff always helps.
We're getting a different irrigation running up here in Robinson. Should be able to start it remotely, but it's first startup this year, and I just want to walk out here and make sure everything's doing good. There's a phase converter. It's got to be running, or you know, mess everything up. So make sure it is. Walking out here to the middle, you can see there farther out, the center pivot up here is running now. We'll have to go out there, change the water valve so we can get the water to this one. And shouldn't be much to it. Where the motor's pumping out of the ditch, and you can see down there, screen's working well. We got a little bridge here that we've built so we don't have to wade the ditch. So far it's holding us. See the screen's pretty good from here. A little deeper right there where we're pulling the water out. It's a constant flow. There's always water. So that's a good thing. So we got to go out here to the center, change that pivot so it's not the pivot so much. Got to change the water, get it going to the other pivot. Now look at that. A little water in the field. Didn't expect it to be that wet. But it's good to see some moisture. Surely that's made an entire round, but I'm not certain. Wish I could zoom in. There's a deer just to the right of that center tower out there grazing. He hasn't saw me yet. He'll turn around here as soon as he does. Yeah, it's been around once, some of it twice. So that's why there's water standing. So we get these valves changed here. Got Gotta open this one. I think I like these better than the ones I just bought. They're the same deal, just got a different open and closing mechanism. Has an arrow, closed, open, and it's easier to use once you figure it out. So got to go shut the electric off to this one. Gotta check the fuel in the tank. Of course, I forgot to bring the fuel trailer. I don't remember much. I will check that, see where we're at. It may last another day. I should mention, you know, as nasty as this is, got on my high seal boots that they sent me, and they are completely waterproof. So, doesn't matter if it's a little wet, my feet will stay dry. They're a good pair of boots, I like those. Okay, engine's a little loud. Still got over half a tank, we're good for a couple of days. So that's a good thing. Shut that electric off to these other two wells. Well, the other two pivots. See if we can figure out how to change the speed. It's running too fast. Should be able to do that from the phone.
Back to the farm. Got the Case IH. What do you guys call yourselves? The planter team? Planter team.
Oh, let's get my buddy on me.
Yeah, no.
We will deliver. Guaranteed have a 1200 model.
Okay.
On the planter. Yeah.
All right.
We owe it.
Yeah, on the record, we apologize for losing your job and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the Cessna. This will be the third time I've tried this. Trying to get the audio to work from my headset into the camera. That's been a problem. Take it off backwards the way I normally would, and with a little bit of wind to my back, which is completely opposite, but I wanted you to see where the farm's at from the airport. So we'll let it run while we're taking off. And we got 4 times the runway we need. So here we go, departing. Okay, here's a farm coming up on the right here. Couldn't see the bands in the buildings, leg. All pretty easy to catch a glimpse of from up here. The house, we got some company today from Case IH. So that's the home place. Over here to my left is Denny's and Garrett's houses. Denny's on your right there. Garrett's is the white one. Gray roof. A little better view of that right under the wing. Jenny's got a pool there. Now we'll swing around and show you Reese's. We're fairly close to that. We farm a lot of this land in here, and piece here where the above ground pool is, that we just purchased that. In the woods here, in front of us, that's where Reese's house is at. You can see the lane coming up from the blacktop. Back to the corner of this woods. And he's got a little log cabin back there. Coming into view. The side window, green roof. So that's where he lives. the bend way up in front of us there, the tall one, that's where David lives. We'll be by there in a minute. This White House coming up with a white pickup sitting there. That's where Jay lives. And next to him, he's right there, that's my daughter Kelly's. So we are not too scattered out, as you can see. Coming up on David's, the group of buildings here together is where Illinois Route 1 crosses our blacktop. It's the Sun Barons Road. Used to be years ago the loaf and hangout of all the locals. The loafing days seem to be a thing of the past. Nobody's got time for that anymore. So David's house here coming up with the bins, the red barn. Of course we farm this side of that. The beans there, those are ours. That's where David lives. Bone house, the red barn, and a big bin. Big city of St. Francisville here. Water tower. We farm around that water tower, not on the far side of it, just around it in the cemetery that belongs to the state. City of St. Francisville. And off here where the irrigation runs, that's ours. That's the bomb farm. And you can see the irrigation is going. It's pretty dry here. They're going in Indiana too. This is the Wabash River we're coming on. Still a little bumpy today. Of course, we're pretty low. We need to get up a little bit, be a little smoother. And I'll show you the big bend in the river and how that works. Way off in the distance, if you can see the smoke, that's the Mount Carmel power plant. The river's kind of cool from up here. See all the bends, and it's low, so the sandbars are all sticking out. Pretty green country this time of year. A lot of woods, as you can see. When you're on the ground, you think, boy, everything's crops. Get in the air, it don't look that way so much. In the building over there, the green tanks, that's the first place we bought in Indiana. And from there all the way south to that woods, we farm that. Here off to our left is a bigger set of bins. We bought those a little later on. That's our main storage in Indiana. Off to the right here, you can see the big bend in this river. And this is what's called the neck. Over that way is the White River, the tree line over there. They spread back out down here, and area in between is called the neck. You can see we got irrigations running over here. This land down here in this big bend, we farm all that. And most of the irrigations are running. I'm sure David's been over here most of the day if he's not still here, getting things going. Irrigations have ran quite a lot already. See, this one's shut down at the moment where the corn is. And these on the beans are both running. I have to watch where them's located because they will get together. And that's not good. Nice bend in the river, nice scenic road right along the edge of it. See both systems running there. Okay, coming up on the White Wabash intersection here, confluence, whatever you want to call that. There's a little restaurant right down here where they come together. And as you can see, or maybe you can, I can see, the white is a little browner than the Wabash, which is normal. It's usually that way. And you can see the big lake at the power plant. Had a couple people comment with a little bit of air that we did before. Want to know if I had an airplane, if I was a pilot. And you can see there's an awful lot of knobs and switches in here. But I'm trying to be a pilot. And this is a little Cessna Superhawk, a 172 four-seat airplane. See behind us there. It'll carry 4 people handily. It's been modified some with what's called an STC. Has a 180 horse engine instead of the 150 it came out with. Has a constant speed propeller, which means you can change the pitch on the prop. It's got a STOL kit, STOL, short takeoff and landing. So it'll land and take off in just a few hundred feet. Really good for what I do. It'll do 100. Right now, you can see we're doing almost 120. That is airspeed. Of course, that changes with which way the wind's coming from and how fast it's blowing. At our main bend complex for Indiana. And there's a little bit of a shed there. We usually put irrigation motors in and back up on the bomb farm, and you can clearly see the 2 varieties of corn. One's a darker green than the other, and I don't know what the varieties are off the top of my head, but there are 2 different varieties there. And you can barely see the irrigation running. You can see the end gun pretty good. The rest of it's hard to see going from up here. A lot of trees there. There was trees there when we bought that place, my brother and I, years ago. We cleaned a lot of them out, and then we wound up replanting them. And that's the big town of St. Francisville. That is the famous cannonball. Some people are scared to death of that thing. Held up a freight train, but they're afraid it's going to fall in. There's not yet a few big trees floating there, I see. There's Lawrenceville. Off to the left here is the school system. There's grade school, middle school, high school, all there together. They have a nice track and football field that was donated by Mr. Loeb, and that's much appreciated to all the citizens. It's really nice. He did a great job. He put a lot of money, his own money, into it.
Back over at David's, Corey just loaded. I'm waiting till the hopper fills up because yesterday evening the shutoff didn't work for whatever reason. It's been working ever since. I don't know why. Make sure it works this time too. That's full. That's kicked off. The leg's now emptying out. I don't know what happened that one time. Gremlins. Head back to the farm. That's it for this week. I am going to get some 3D nozzles from John Deere. I'm going to try that on the fungicide this year, so should get those next week and we'll get those put on them. But want your Ivers stuff, go to ivers-farms.myshopify.com. Thanks for watching. See you next week.